Hey guys, it is time for Talk About It Tuesday. And so, our question for this week is: do I think it is sustainable for brides to be full DIY brides? And so, my answer to that is yes, it is. If giving yourself the correct amount of time to be able to get everything done and not procrastinate, as well as knowing your DIY level. So if you are thinking that you are going to do all of your flowers, make sure you know how to put flowers together. Make sure you do a couple of different runs than waiting to the last minute before your wedding, because it may come out to look like something that you do not want to use for your wedding, and then you're stuck because either A, you don't have enough time, or B, you've already ran out of money to be able to hire someone to do the services for you. So just make sure that you know yourself when it comes to your DIY level so that things can get executed to the way that you want them to. Also, just because you are calling yourself a DIY bride does not mean that you are going to save money doing it yourself. So sometimes fake flowers can be just as expensive as real flowers. You can also purchase things like from Hobby Lobby and things like that, and you can actually get them cheaper elsewhere. So being a DIY bride really means giving yourself the correct amount of time to be able to do your research, to figure out where you should get things at the correct pricing, making sure that your level of DIY is actually a level of DIY that you would want to have showcased at your wedding, because not everybody can build flowers. Not everyone can build a structure. Not everyone can, make all these things on Cricut and make it look very nice. So just make sure you know what your DIY level is, and making sure that you are truly, truly doing the research and taking the time to get them done correctly, and making sure that the pricing is correct, because just being a DIY bride does not mean that you're going to save yourself money. You really need to have some guidance and take some time and really, really do your research to make sure that it makes sense, because sometimes it's better to hire someone to do it so that you do not have the level of frustration that you're going to put yourself through. Because I have a lot of brides who start out with, oh, I'm going to make all of my centerpieces, and by the time we get to centerpiece number 3 and they've got to get to 12, they're like, screw this, I don't want to look at another flower. And then we've already spent $2,000 in fake flowers to try to, make these arrangements when you could have gone elsewhere to get these things done. So just really make sure that if you're going to be a DIY bride, you're really doing the research, taking the time to really find the deals, the pricings, and knowing yourself and knowing your skill set, so that you don't become a frustrated bride or end up spending double the money, because after you give up, you just hire somebody to do it anyway. So that is our Talk About It Tuesday. Happy planning, guys.